Hi, everybody. John Younger, Assisted Living Locators here. 5 minutes with Lauren Watts of Dovetail Companies today. Hey, Lauren,
Hi, John.
you look great. Everything's good?
Everything is great. Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. Um, why don't you tell the audience about Dovetail Companies?
Sure. So thank you for having me. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you for providing such a great platform to showcase the professionals that are available throughout the senior living industry. I think it's so important to provide education to folks as they start to navigate these waters. Um, Usually, I like to start by saying that making a major life transition is never an easy one for anyone, especially for our older adult population who have experienced so much throughout their lives. And when I reference a major life decision, I'm talking about a lifestyle change. Here at Dovetail Companies, and I'll tell you a little bit about what we do, we have a few different types of clients that we work with, and they really all have varying reasons for this lifestyle change. Some are really embarking on right sizing, meaning they're in search of a more manageable space. Maybe it's for amenities, increased social circle, or some other reasons. We have other clients that might be leaving their home due to increased care needs, companionship. Maybe it's to be closer to family. And unfortunately, there are times too that we find we have clients that are in a crisis situation. And that was a result of an event that has happened. So maybe they fell, maybe there was a loss of a spouse, surgery. Regardless of what the event was, they find themselves in this crisis where home is suddenly no longer a safe and viable option. And certainly it's not ideal situation for anyone to be in, but certainly one that we excel at. So regardless of the reason for why people embark on this lifestyle transition or a major life decision and start the process, there's a lot of moving pieces that need to be coordinated for that person to effectively get from point A to point B. And this is really where Dovetail Companies comes in. We offer one point of contact for any and all services that an older adult and or their family may need when thinking about or in the midst of a lifestyle change. And I'll explain that a little bit further.
Sure.
Our goal at Dovetail is to bring as many of the different types of professionals that you've interviewed or will be interviewing together to provide one point of contact to the consumer. So the client meets with our founder, Erin DiCarlo, or myself for a complimentary consultation. And there we start with a lot of positive psychology. We're on a train of positive psychology these days. So we really start to build rapport with the client and look at what their future may hold. A lot of times we're asking them, tell us what's working really well in your home because we want to be able to duplicate that for them. Tell us a little bit about yourself. It's interesting. The more you get to find out about your client, the more easily you're able to really put together a plan to transition them that's going to work for them, their family, for everybody involved, and especially to help transition them into the community as well. Sometimes we will actually talk to key influencers in their life as well. So it might be adult children, their elder law attorney, anybody that's really supporting them. We talk a lot about aligning your village when you're at this stage in your life and making a major life transition. So anybody that's part of your village, we want to be able to get on board, have conversations with, and make sure that your goals are being met along the way. It's one of my favorite parts because we're learning so much about the client. And a lot of times people think that as they age, they're not going to be able to do things that they once did. And the best part about our job or, our calling, what we've come here to do, is that we can really listen, and with some adjustments, we can make those things happen. So regardless of the situation that they're in, regardless of their goals, their backgrounds, every client has a unique set of needs. We can really come to the table and provide and build out a plan to get them from point A to point B. So each and every conversation that we have certainly plays a significant role. Once we understand the client's needs and how we're going to accomplish these goals, we bring in our three business entities. So under Dovetail Companies, we have Dovetail Support Services, Dovetail Real Estate Group, and Dovetail Financial.
You really have a
Really,
village going on there, don't you?
we sure
That's
do.
great.
And we have found, Erin built out the company just over 2 years ago. And after 15 years of being in the senior living industry, really identified a great business model where allowing the consumer to deal with one person to help manage all of the different aspects really worked well. So we start really ideally with Dovetail Support Services. And just to describe, the differences between the three business units, they all come together under one.
Hmm.
We have on our team and contract with many different senior move managers, aging life care specialists. I'm sure that you've talked to a few of them as well.
Yeah.
Geriatric psychotherapists. We have donation coordination on our team, clean out crews, movers. You name it, we really have it. And if we don't, we'll build that out. One thing that we've noticed as well is a lot of folks that sometimes have lived in their homes for 40 plus years, and whatever the reason may be, have accumulated a lot of stuff. So we do also have a hoarding division on our team too, which is a completely different set of needs and goals that we have to accomplish versus just an easier move as well. So we can really focus on the full gamut. Once we have identified, how we're going to put all of that plan in place, we're taking that in manageable bites for the
Mm.
client. And we actually have turned things upside down in the way that the process goes. We typically like to move the older adult first and then deal with the contents in the home as well as listing and selling the home. So that's actually a perfect segue to our second business entity, Dovetail Real Estate Group. We are a premier listing only brokerage that specializes in the mature seller. And we've consciously made this decision to have such a niche business because the needs of a seller vary greatly from the needs of a buyer. And especially the needs of a mature seller that, again, has lived in their home for 40 plus years. It's a very emotional decision.
Yeah.
And so, this isn't to say anything about real estate agents that are out there doing a great job, but the process is just very different. And we have found that it's much more of a warm handhold, and there's a lot of coordinating pieces that we need to do. So what we specifically bring to the table is we solely deal with mature sellers. And that's our niche business. And what we bring to the table is over 20 plus years of experience in the senior living industry. We are certified senior living advisors, certified dementia practitioners, seniors real estate specialists, and sellers representative specialists. So we're really just changing the way that real estate has traditionally done and sold the home, and we're doing it quicker and for more money. Third piece to that is a lot of our clients, again, that have lived in their home for 40 plus years, living on a limited income or a fixed income. They might have some investments or they might not. A lot of their equity or all of the equity in their home is what is going to help them afford for their next step or their future. However, it poses a challenge when they are waiting for that home to sell. So we have developed Dovetail Financial to provide short-term bridge loans to folks that would like to or need to fund their next step until
Mm.
their home sells. And that bridge loan is simple and easy. They can get it within about 5 to 7 business days. It's solely based on the equity in their home, so there's no upfront cost and really no work that needs to be done on the client's end. And it all gets paid back at closing. So hopefully between all of the three business units that we have, we've really kind of built out a cohesive team or village, as we call
Right.
it, to really help the individual that's, in search of a transition, whether they want to or they kind of have to. We're here to provide that support to them, that emotional handhold, and really just a friendly face to get them to where they need to be as safely and as easily as possible.
Lauren, that's awesome. I love how you and Aaron have created this village, this resource of information, this the ability to really pick out some of the things that are needed during the move that
Um,
other people might not quite touch on.
yes,
I just think it's fantastic, and I applaud you and Aaron for doing this. Uh,
thank you.
oh, my pleasure. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So certainly they can email us at info@dovetailcompanies.com. They can call our phone number at 617-227-1600, and they'll either get Erin or myself. Or they can certainly visit us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube under Dovetail Companies. I also do want to mention that we've spent a lot of time building out some great interactive question and answer type videos for folks to help provide some additional information. So we have a whole section on YouTube with all of our videos, as well as some blogs and vlogs on our website. So check out dovetailcompanies.com online, and it will send you into all the right directions.
That's great, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
for five
welcome.
minutes
Thank you,
today.
John.
An honor, an absolute honor.
Oh, good. Thank you for having me.
Take care.